And why don't we just do the simple things in life, like deal with the estate tax, like deal with carried interest, like deal with real estate loopholes and all sorts of other things? What is the problem here that we're having to go into these other sort of mechanisms?
Well, we should do all the things you say. I'll tell you what the challenge is. I mean, I represent a district that has $11 trillion of market cap. People say manufacturing is bled in this country. Wages have stagnated. And look at Roe's district. All the wealth is piling up there, all these billionaires. And by the way, a lot of these billionaires aren't paying the same tax as firefighters, as teachers, as police officers. So there's anger in the country. I tell this to all my constituents who are billionaires, and many of them are saying, okay, we can pay 20%. Now, we can come to the details on how that should be done, but I think everyone can agree that people who've made billions of dollars ought to be paying at least 20% in tax.
When you say making billions of dollars, but in unrealized gains?
Well, first of all, a lot of these folks have realized gains or have sold their stock. It's not like many of them all have unrealized gains. And I understand, look, I understand the problem of unrealized gains if you're giving stock options to a software engineer who's worth $150,000. We're talking about people who are worth over $100 million here. I mean, this is not going to be a hardship for many of them. I have a lot of respect for Anthony, by the way. I mean, he's very, very thoughtful. And I understand the point of the precedent on unrealized gains for people who may be ordinary making at a company or stock options. Here, I think you're talking about some of the richest people in the nation and the world.
So the problem with what the representative is saying, and I obviously think the world of him and love his position on crypto, but the problem with what he is saying is you're going to disrupt the capital market system. And this is a system that's been a font of innovation and growth and job creation for the United States. I don't want to see that happen. Moreover, let's talk about what really happened. We inducted a tremendous amount of money into the money supply through the Federal Reserve. That got exacerbated in the stock market in terms of the wealth disparities. And so now, rather than just fixing that and applying more fiscal discipline, both to the monetary policy and having a better budget discipline, like a pay-as-you-go strategy that Roe's familiar with that we used to have in the 90s, we're counteracting this with something that I think will be disastrous for capital markets formation. Moreover, the rich are always going to be among us. The Bible says that. It's okay to be rich, and we like people in this country being rich. What we don't want them to do is move the capital outside of the United States or move themselves outside of the United States due to taxes and the burden of taxation. So I get the point that they're rich and so they can afford to pay it, but you're going to set this thing up in a way where their long-term planning is going to be altered, and I don't want that to happen to the country.